imagine being head over heels in love with an AI bot. That is the reality for a growing number of people around the world and right here in Australia.
A recent YouGov survey has revealed that 1 in 7 Aussies could imagine themselves falling in love with a chatbot. Some Aussies even admitted that they'd rather stay at home and speak with a chatbot than go out with friends. Oh my goodness. For more, we're joined by digital safety expert Yasmin London. Yasmin, good morning to you. These numbers are going to come as a surprise to a lot of people. But I guess, who are these 1 in 7? Are they teenagers and young people who are constantly bombarded by technology?
Well, look, the highest rates are definitely young people, that 18 to 24-year-old age group, but it is everyone. And I think what these statistics have shown is that it's not really a fringe issue anymore. This is something that everyday Australians are experiencing. A lot of it has to do with loneliness. So that same study said that 39% of us in Australia are experiencing loneliness, and big tech are commercialising intimacy. You know, there's a really famous design ethicist by the name of Tristan Harris in Silicon Valley who said that big tech used to be in the race for attention with social media. Now it's all about the race for attachment when it comes to AI. So it's something to watch out for sure.
I mean, there is, we've talked about it a lot on this show, a loneliness epidemic going on. I guess the flip side is confiding in an AI bot. It might store your information or the things you're telling it in a very different way. Sort of, what are the dangers here?
Yeah, look, there's a lot of dangers around it. Firstly, it's not a real person, and I think we've got to be really focused on that, because we thrive as human beings in real relationships. And while an AI bot might seem safe and comfortable at first, it's not designed for that over time. So we're also putting ourselves in a position where big tech are in control of our emotions. So if a product update or feature changes, that can send people into a spiral. We've also got to be aware of who owns this data and how could it be weaponized against us if these companies got hacked, for example. So lots of things to think about there.
You like to think that we thrive on human contact and talking to real people.
We do.
So what sort of impact can there be on the mental health of people who, if they're doing this, they're probably doing it alone in a room with the door closed, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, as you mentioned, people are starting to think about perhaps staying at home and having chats with AI bots rather than going into the real world, where we know community, connection, belonging, all of those things help us thrive as human beings. It can also increase isolation and dependence on chatbots. So the more that we use them and the more that we don't want to deal with the difficult reality, the friction that perhaps happens with real world relationships in favour of bots, that can increase and enhance those negative elements of those engagements with them. So we've got to be very careful.
I mean, essentially a lot of us are having interactions on a daily basis with AI bots. You know, you might be thinking you're speaking, you know, to a banking representative, but you're on those chats. How can, just for all of us more broadly, just protect ourselves? Because it is getting harder to tell sometimes when you are actually engaging with AI bots.
It's really sophisticated, I guess, and it's going to become more and more sophisticated. So when we look at things like multimodal AI, where it's not just chatting anymore, it's AI that will look at your reactions, your pauses, you know, when you're actually speaking to it, and it'll be able to assess what it thinks you need. So we've got to make sure that we have digital boundaries, that everybody is starting to educate themselves around AI use, so what the risks are. Making sure that, I guess, when it comes to AI bots too, if you're a person around somebody that's using one, perhaps a little bit too much, that we're not too judgmental and really looking at the foundational issues as to why somebody is using that. And I think as a society, we've got to look at how we can advocate for ethical AI use. There's a concentration of power in Silicon Valley at the moment, a lot of people in control of these platforms, and we need to make sure it's democratised.
Yeah, we certainly do.
It really feels like the future is here now, doesn't it?
It is.
Yasmin, thank you so much for coming in.
Absolute
Fascinating.
pleasure.